Boom! What up, guys? We are live. All right, we got a spontaneous live Q&A. So there's a pretty funny story actually behind this. But first, let's all get pumped up by listening to our new trailer that I keep playing every 5 seconds.
How do you feel about big dicks?
We got Sarah J on the casting couch.
Yes.
She's never done this before.
You are about to have sex with other girls, but she's not. Fuck that shit.
What are some of the biggest mistakes you personally experienced?
Shoulder fuckers.
All right, we're back. So here's what happened tonight. I actually had a date tonight, right? I was planning for that, and then she didn't respond. So I was like, "Oh, fuck it. Well, I got an extra hour of my time. Why don't I do live Q&A and answer everyone's questions, provide some value to the audience?" And then like 20 minutes before I'm about to start this live, she hits me back and she says, "Hey, I'm down to hang out." I'm like, "Oh, fuck," but I didn't want to bail on you guys, so I did the responsible thing and passed up the pussy for a live. No, I mean, I didn't really pass it up. We just rescheduled for later. So it's all good either way. All right. So, yeah, so the plan for tonight is we're not going to go for too long. I'm just going to do a simple live Q&A, answer any questions. If there's any haters, I'll be happy to debate them. Just all the usual stuff that we do. Okay, so let's just jump right into this. There's already a few questions that are being dropped. Hey, Alex, what are your thoughts on Corey Wade? So, yeah, I remember this person, DPV, you were pretty going pretty crazy in the last live stream we had. Okay, so I've answered this question multiple times already. I don't know him personally, never interacted with him. However, based on his vibe and demeanor, I severely doubt he's actually good with women. Some of his relationship stuff sounds okay in theory, but I severely doubt that guy actually crushes it with chick. I think he's probably more of a theory guy. Again, never interacted with him, so I'm going off just kind of like the videos I've seen. But yeah, I mean, I would bet a lot of money that guy, hasn't been with that many girls. Okay. Next questions. Hey, Alex, I'm curious how you think most memorable interactions with any girls ever were. I want to know what your most epic rejections and successes were. Oh, man. My most epic success, it's so hard to say. I've had like so many. There was this one really, really good one in Prague. Go on playingfire.com, love reports, and type in like last night in Prague or something like that. Or just search under love reports for like, it's something with Prague. That was a really good one. There was also this really hilarious, orgy I had in Prague. Funny enough, that was a separate trip. So that's all in there. Most memorable rejection. I don't know. I've never had any like super crazy rejections. I had one actually interesting one recently. It wasn't a rejection per se, but this chick I had over from SA, and something felt a little off. It was like too easy. She came over where I'm escalating, and right before we're making out, I'm sucking on her titties, and right before sex is about to happen, she's like, money up front. I'm like, what? She's like, money up front. I'm like, what? She's like, money up front. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So it turned out she was a prostitute. So I'm like, yeah, I don't pay for sex. So she's like, well, then what am I doing here? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Why didn't you tell me that you were looking to get paid for sex? Like, you just told me you were a prostitute. We could have both saved ourselves some time. She's like, well, I'm not a prostitute. I'm like, but you're asking me money for sex. She's like, yeah, but that doesn't make me a prostitute. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, lady. And then, so I kind of, but she's like, well, you're pretty funny and you're cute. So maybe we can just chill. I guess it's my fault. I'm like, okay. I'm like, fuck. And then I kind of reframed it too. I'm like, listen, like, I did a massive reframe. I thought it was working out, and then everything's going well. Start escalating again. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna bang this chick. And then just her prostitute instincts just kick in again, and she just like stops me. She's like, I can't do this without money. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're clearly into me. Like, what the fuck? She's like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of if I don't make money. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. So I kicked her out of my house. That's the end of that. Okay. Someone says, don't think he will. He's been hiding my comments on his page and ignoring my questions. Okay. It always cracks me up when I see this. I don't delete comments. I don't hide comments. There is such a thing called the YouTube algorithm, which I have no control over, and they push some comments to the top and some comments to the bottom. And I think a lot of it is just designed based on the context of the comment, how many upvotes and downvotes you get. So I have no control over the YouTube algorithm, but I don't delete comments. So what exactly do you want me to address? Like, we will address it right now. I'm just curious. What is so important that you think that I've been hiding your comments or ignoring your questions? What is your question? Like, let's answer it right now. Yo, Alex, we need some good tips on how to be funny. Yeah, that's a tough one. I just think humor is not one of those things you can really like learn much. I think you either kind of have it or you don't. It's kind of like intelligence. Like you're either born smart or you're not. You can kind of work on it a little bit. But I think the biggest thing for me personally, I think I was always pretty funny, but I was always really self conscious and filtered growing up. So it was like, it's not like I became funnier. I always had the sense of humor, but it just wasn't coming out because of I was like super self conscious and I was stopping myself. And then as I got older, I stopped giving a shit. And then I just became much more free flowing. And then, so it may seem like I became funnier later on in life, but I think I was always pretty funny if I felt comfortable with the person. The problem is that most of my life I just really didn't feel comfortable with strangers, and then later on in life I stopped giving a shit, and my comfort went up. If that makes sense. Is this chick that's coming a rotation chick, a new chick? This one, no, she's a new girl. I've never met her before. How long? I don't know. It's like a week of texting or something like that. Uh, hey Alex, what are some basic fundamentals to having a sense of humor? I mean, yeah, that's like a really tough question. That's like asking what are the fundamentals of being intelligent. It's just like I guess it's just being able to. I don't know how to explain it, honestly. I think it's like it's one of those things that's kind of hard to explain. I just think you either have it or you don't. And I guess there's different levels of it. You can be sort of funny, or, kind of funny, really funny, hilarious. There's different levels of it. Like I don't think I'm the funniest person ever, but I do think I like have a pretty good sense of humor. But again, I think it's just something I was born with. Like I don't know. Like if you look at my dad, for example, like or my mom, like neither one of them is funny at all. Like my dad tries to be funny, but he just doesn't have a good sense of humor. Like he's not good at like I don't know linking ideas and like making jokes. He tries like as much as I do. So I just think it's like, but we're both like similar intelligence. So I just think it's just like a little bit of a gift that you get. uh, yeah, no problem, man. Happy to do it. Is it possible to build a sexual connection without talking or hinting at sex on a date? Yeah, you can. Well, sexual tension, I think you mean. You can do without talking about sex. Yeah, you can do it through body language, eye contact, proximity. Um, Sexual tension can be built, in other ways besides verbal. So yes. Alex, why don't you just ignore the fresh and fit sips? That's a good question. Well, first of all, I enjoy like conversing and debating them. I get like a little kick out of it. And second of all, it's just never been my style to just like ignore. Like, I just disagree with this premise that like, oh, you should just only focus on yourself and ignore everything else. Like, that's just not who I am. Like, I've just always been like fairly opinionated, and if I just think something is retarded, I'm just going to speak on it. Like, I don't care if that like offends some people or something like that. And I honestly think that's like a part of being a man. Like if you're just so focused, if you're just only focused on yourself and you ignore everything outside of you, like I don't really think that's like, real alpha behavior or something like that. So yeah, so I get a kick out of like engaging with them. Plus it's just kind of who I am. Uh, do you think online dating has become a lot more competitive compared to what it was a year ago? Maybe. Yeah. I just think it gets more and more competitive every year. So, yeah, I just think that's kind of been the thing. So I don't know if it's significantly more competitive than it was a year ago, but it's definitely more competitive than it was 5 years ago. Okay, Alex, why are you protecting your boy John Anthony lifestyle? How am I protecting him? Like, can you give a concrete example of how I've actually protected him? Because, like, again, that's just like such a vague allegation. So, like, explain that. Okay. Hey, Alex, have you ever had a situation where you had your heart broken? Not really, honestly, because I don't have a heart. No, I mean, maybe my first relationship a little bit. But again, she didn't break my heart. I was just like sad after we broke up. But no, not really, honestly. Bro, do you pay the SA membership expensive as fuck? Not that bad. It's like $70 a month. It's not too bad. Okay, Alex, are you ever going to do a video about how superior dating women in Colombia and Brazil are from toxic American women? Well, I actually already have a video talking about how to get laid in Colombia, but I just really don't see the point. Yeah, of course, it's so much better in Colombia. Like, that's without a question. But how does that help my audience, like me just constantly talking about that? Like, if they can, they would have already gone to Colombia. There's been multiple people who've told me that they were inspired by my like stories and travel to Colombia or Brazil. But like me constantly bitching about women in America isn't really going to help anybody. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I've already talked about that like many times. I just don't like to harp on it. Do you think it's a good idea to keep a shirtless picture as your first picture for Bumble and Hinge? Well, for Bumble, you can't have shirtless photos on Bumble as of like a year ago. So that's not going to work. Um, you can't have shirtless pictures in general. On Hinge, maybe. It depends. Is it a selfie or is it just like a natural looking shirtless photo? Just really depends on the photo itself. Or can you not profit from the truth? Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what that even has to do with profit. Like, I'll freely admit that Colombia is better. I just don't like bitching. I just don't see the point in bitching about American women like a lot of red pillars do over and over again. Like, how does that help me? How does that help anybody? It's so hard in America. I hate it. These chicks, they fucking suck. Like, how does that help you guys? How does that help me? How does that help anyone? Okay. Uh, if Natty knows you have a date, does she ever, for fun, try to drain you sexually so you have nothing left in your tank for your date? Lol. Not that I know of. No, she's like really supportive, but that would be funny if she was doing that. Any good stalker stories? Uh, yeah, no, I never had a stalker actually, thankfully. Insane Flirt made a community posting threatening him to take down his video critiquing him, and now that video is down. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but that was never like brought up to me. So he made the threaten him to take down the video critiquing him. Now the video's down. Yeah, could be true, could not be true. I really don't know anything about that. I guess I can ask John about it when I talk to him later. But okay. John Anthony will hide your comments if we talk about. Yeah, I mean, because I mean, like that's just like troll comment. I mean, it's not my style to like hide comments, but I can sort of see why he does it. Okay. What would you approach a girl on dance floor who's dancing with her friends? Uh, hmm. Well, generally speaking, I'm not a big fan of places that have dancing in general, but I might just go over and just like make eye contact and just like go in there, just like introduce myself. I'm not going to dance or anything like that. I'm just going to introduce myself like, hey, Alex, nice to meet you. Just do like 20, 30 seconds of banter and be like, ooh, I like your little sexy dance moves. Haha. Hey, let's grab a drink real quick and just like pull her off the dance floor. Humor is literally 90% of good game women. All put humor as number only thing that matters. No, that's not true. I know plenty of guys who don't have a good sense of humor who still get laid. You don't need to be funny to be good with women. It definitely helps, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's 90%. Not at all. Not even close. When is the new product dropping? Probably around March or April. Yeah, it's been finished. I just need to finish doing the final round of edits. So I would say that it'll be out in April. That's for sure. Yeah, so I just answered this question. I want to flirt with a girl who's doing physical tests for my CBC officer application, but I didn't want to risk not getting a job. Well, yeah, sometimes you kind of got to balance like work and game, which can be tricky. I'm 32. I think you should watch whatever your favorite comedian is, imitate their humor until it becomes your own. Put your own spin on it. Yeah, but easier said than done. I think that I just know some people who try to be funny and they fail at it, like despite doing all that. It's just like I don't know. I think it's one of those things that you're sort of born with, in my opinion. Okay, what percentage of chicks let the match expire on Bumble? Like 20? Yeah, something like that. 20, 30%, maybe even more. So maybe bring on Kibuki mid paying for it and being black pill. Yeah, if you guys want to see it, I'll do it. I just honestly, my thought process is that he already got destroyed during the Duke and Don stream, so be kind of like kicking a man while he's down. But if you guys want to see it, I'll do it. I don't care. I'm down. If you guys want to see it, I'll set it up. Let me know in the comments. Like, let me know in the live chat if you guys want to see that debate or not. Okay, what else do we have? Someone said in Russian that means where are the girls? Well, where are the dogs? The dog is right behind me. What do you gain from sleeping with other women? And what religion do you believe in? So I'm a hardcore Scientologist, so I very much no, I'm just kidding. I'm agnostic. I don't really follow any kind of organized religion. I honestly think that stuff is like largely a waste of time. What do I gain from sleeping with a lot of women? It's just fun for me. It's like the same thing that I gain from like hanging out with my friends or playing sports. It's just fun. It's amusing. I enjoy it. Like it makes me happy. That's basically it. Okay, there we go. Okay, concrete example. On your stream when John Anthony asked a question, ask him why he went after you didn't put that question. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's because there's like 80% of the questions that were asked I didn't put up because there's so many questions during that stream. So if you notice, I skipped like 90% of the questions. So I was literally just going through the stream and like just trying to pick the best questions. I honestly didn't even see that question, to be honest. So it wasn't like I just skipped your question. I skipped most questions because when I'm doing a stream with another YouTuber and there's like 250 live viewers, and there's a new question every 10 seconds. There's no way we can get through all the questions. We can't even get through half the questions. We can't even get through like 25% of the questions. So I just have to like pick the best ones. What do you think about Coach Whitepill being exposed for having 0 game and 0 lays in Vegas in 3 months? I don't think much about it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what is it really to think about it? I mean, I guess it kind of is what it is. There's really not much I can like add to that. It is what it is, I guess. How many picks is best for dating profile, specifically Tinder? I'd say you want to have between at least 3 or 4, but 5 or 6 is ideal. 5 is ideal. 4 or 5 is solid. 3 is a bit on the low side, but it's fine. 2 is really low. Do you honestly think John Anthony text game is good? His responses on your last video with him. Well, so he just has a different style. So he has more of the shotgun style, versus I have more of a sniper style. So his style it's less like it's more just like copy and paste, right? So it's not going to be. It may not be as like strategically effective for each chick, but it's a lot faster. So if you're running high volume, I think it's a really good style. I think if you have like lower leads, right? But I do think he has a lot of really good principles. Like there's a lot of aspects of my text game that were inspired by him. So yeah, I do think he's solid. He's just a little bit of a different style than me. Okay. What's your doggo's name? Looks very chill back there on the couch. His name is Raygon. Yeah, he's like super cool. I love that dog. Are you going to bring Andrew Tate on since you already bought on Tristan Tate? I'd like to, but honestly, like I've been coordinating with those guys for like a year. So they're really, really, really hard to lock down. It took me like half a year to lock down Tristan. Initially, I was actually supposed to do it with Andrew, and then he said, and then I think he said that would be better if Tristan came on. So yeah, I would love to, but they're really hard to get a hold of. Do you get exhausted dating? Yeah, sometimes I do. Yeah, it is definitely exhausting. What is the benefit of using WhatsApp compared to texting on iMessage? And there's really not much of a difference on WhatsApp. You can, I guess you can unsend messages, which you can't really do on iPhone, but honestly, it's basically the same thing. Have you ever tried Social Circle game? Yeah, I mean, I've banged chicks like from Social Circle. But yeah, I mean, I've banged several chicks from Social Circle, but it's not like because most of the people I hang out with, they're like, other dudes who are like into games. So, but yeah, I have banged a few chicks from it. I'd say instead of asking John Anthony, why don't you bring Insane Fluid on your channel? John Anthony will obviously give his justification. Yeah, or maybe I can see if I can get both of them on and have them debate each other, and I could just moderate. Yeah, honestly, I've never heard of Insane Fluid. Let me look him up real quick. Let's see how many subs he has and whatnot. So let me see 1 second. Insane prostitute. So I'm like, yeah, I don't pay for sex. So she's like, oh, okay. What am I doing here? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Insane Flirt. I'm trying to find him. Does he have a YouTube channel? Oh, okay. Yeah, he has like 983 subscribers, so like pretty small, but I guess I could still see. I mean, I probably wouldn't just have him on by himself because I just feel like that wouldn't provide enough entertainment. But maybe I could have them both on at the same time and have them debate each other. That could be interesting. I'll see if they're down with that. Okay. Thanks for today's video. I already restarted 3 combos. Nice, man. Glad to hear. What are your thoughts on red pill? Is it the truth or too extreme in your opinion? Okay, so here's the thing: red pill is meant to signify the truth, right? But black pill, if you ask a black pill, they say that they're all about the truth. So which one is the truth, right? Well, the truth depends on who you are. Now, so Rolo pill is basically synonymous with, red pill is basically synonymous with Rolo pill, right? Because a lot of it is influenced by his teachings. I think he gets some stuff right, some stuff wrong. But really just depends on what version of the red pill we're talking about. There's some red pill content creators that don't agree with Rolo, right? And they think differently. So it's like it's a broad category that a lot of content creators call themselves red pill. They have usually like somewhat differing opinions. So it's there's no way you can say like, oh, the red pill is correct, the red pill is not correct, because again, in the red pill, there's different like sects of philosophy. But generally speaking, I think that there's elements of truth to it, and then I think there's some things that they get wrong. And I've kind of made my feelings on that pretty clear. What do you say when a girl asks for your body count, keeps asking you this question in a single interaction? I just give her my body. Well, usually I fuck with her. I'll say like, "Oh, I'm a virgin," and she'll be like, "Really?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm really shy and inexperienced." Like, I'll usually just fuck with her. But if she insists on an answer, I'll just be like, "Yeah, I don't know. It's like somewhere between 300, 400. I don't really count," and that's it. Yeah, I don't really give a shit. What happened with Allende, and will you work with him again? I think the reason letting go is for similar. Okay, so yeah, there's some misconceptions about that. I actually talked to Allende after that, and I also watched the video he sent me of his podcast with a chick, and yeah, some things don't line up. So I think what really happened was nothing really. Like Allende had her on, he did a little mini podcast with her. She got pissed off, she stormed off, and that was it. And I think basically the only thing Allende is guilty of is just like, I guess, poor communication with me about the timing. But that's really it. I don't think he like backstabbed me or did anything really wrong. He just has a little bit of a different style of doing interviews. Will I work with him again? Yeah, I will. Actually, I'm trying to organize a podcast between him and the girl and have them debate each other in the studio. And that might happen tomorrow. She said yes. Allende said yes, but she hasn't confirmed for tomorrow yet. So I'm hoping she does. And I think that'll be really epic. Just having them go back and forth in the studio while I moderate. What type of cologne do you like to wear? Whatever I get, like Chanel, Armani, whatever. I don't really like, whatever. I don't really like have any standard one. Just whatever people give me on like my birthday and shit. Why do you end up leaving Austin? Good question. Honestly, it got kind of cold for me in the winter, and I really hate the cold. That was probably the main reason. How do you date women with higher status than you? Well, obviously, no one has higher status than me, so that's not physically possible. No, I mean, I don't know. I don't really give a shit. Like, I don't pay attention to chicks' status or their bearing. I don't let it influence me. Like, I'm just not. I'm not insecure in like any way. So, like, that stuff doesn't bother me. Like, if the chick has more followers or is more popular than me, like, it doesn't affect me. Should you max SME as much as possible first to learn game dating along the way? I think you should do both. Honestly, I think they're not mutually exclusive. I think you should do both at the same time, in my opinion. When would you say shit tests generally begin? Where the telltale examples? Love your channel, by the way. Man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. When they can begin right off the bat, or they can begin later on in the conversation. They can really happen at any time. I have a pretty detailed video on this, but generally speaking, it's when a girl is just like playfully challenging you and she's seeing if your frame breaks. So if you watch my latest video, or second to latest, I believe it's called the Brat Tamer. In that video, the chick gives multiple shit tests, and I pointed out. She basically says like, "Oh, I don't know if you can handle me." That's a shit test. Stuff like that. Like she's challenging you, and she wants to see if you're going to hold your frame or not. But check out my video that I have on this for more info. Okay. I just want to say I got back in the game, and I just pulled a threesome yesterday because of your videos. Been wanting to do it forever. You the goat. Thanks, man. I'm glad to hear. And yeah, man, that's awesome. Good job. I've been enjoying your recent discussion debates a lot lately. Other people potentially might include Thinking Ape, Sandman, Alan. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me take a picture of that, and I'll reach out to all these people. I literally, the only one out of this list that I've heard of is Aaron Clary. I think he's like an accountant or something. Well, I'll take a picture of this. Okay. And I'll reach out to all those people tonight. I'm always down to debate people. And yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying that. Okay. Someone said, Alex, would you consider having the girls from your blocked on would be a cool interaction? Their channels worth checking out. Never heard of that, actually. Let me take another picture of this. Never heard of your blocked. You guys are giving me some good info. Yeah, I'm open to talking to anyone, so I'll reach out to them. So with John sleeping with 1,000 women, do you think something is wrong with him? No, I just think he really, really fucking loves sex and fucking chicks, much more so than me. But yeah, I mean, no, I don't think that's like something wrong with him. He's just like really, really fucking into this shit, I guess. Have you ever heard of Salmon? I have not, no, but the other person suggested that, so I'll research him. So I kind of already answered this question about the red pill. Uh, okay, I'm 22, about to graduate college. What cities should I think of relocating to start my life? My number one choice right now is Austin. Austin is cool. It just depends what you're trying to do, what you like. Like me personally, I hate the cold. I can't stand the cold. So for me, any northern or midwestern city was off limits. But Miami is pretty cool, I guess. Austin is cool. There's also Orlando, Jacksonville. There is also Phoenix. So yeah, I mean, there's a bunch. It just really depends on what you're looking for. Uh, if you try to soft close and she says there's something else she's interested in and doesn't want to talk to multiple people at the same time, what would you do? If she says that, then I would probably just move on. I might troll her. I might say, "Oh, that's cute. Are you guys going to get married?" But I would probably just move on. Someone says, "Are you interested in black women?" Interesting question. I mean, I generally have a certain body type that I like, which is like skinny, but also big ass and big tits. And generally speaking, Latin girls are the ones that fall in that category. But there's some black chicks that fall in that category. There's some black chicks that I'm actually talking to right now. But generally speaking, it's mostly Latin girls that fall into that category. So yeah, I've banged multiple black chicks in the past. I wouldn't say that's like my MO. I generally speaking mostly go for Latinas because of that. But I'm not like opposed to it. How much was your dog and where did you get him from? He was a rescue, so he was free actually. Opinion on cold approachers like Tusk and Tay Social and their advice. Tay Social seems really pretty solid. I want to get him on for a podcast. Actually, I think he's pretty good. Tusk, I'm not as familiar with, so I can't really comment. What is this juice that you're always drinking? Yeah, so I've answered this question many times. It's kava. This is interesting. Uh, I've been hitting Delta 8 vape before dates lately. It makes me more confident and funny. Chicks been liking me more. That's interesting. Maddie tried Delta 8 and she got super uber fucked up. So I guess it hits everyone differently. I've never tried Delta 8. Would you ever do a discussion with Sterling Cooper? Yeah, I've already have. I've had him on the channel several times and I've been on his channel. So yeah, I've already done several collabs with him. Is it a good idea to flirt and get a female bartender number even though she's working? I mean, can't hurt. Like, what do you have to lose? How should I optimally set up online dating profile when I'm 5'4"? I mean, you basically do everything the same. Only you leave your height out and try not to take pictures with other people, so you don't look short by comparison. And try to use kind of downwards angle to make you look taller, but that's about it. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Have you ever tried to collab with Demo Social? No, never heard of him, but I can check him out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel since you started the channel, you developed certain preference to online dating rather than cold approaches in some way. Tell us why you're not with RSD anymore. Okay, so I don't think my preferences have changed. I think I have been into online way before the channel started. But I also still do cold approach. I just like it just has to do with like me budgeting my time. So I've been doing pretty much the same amount of cold approach and online in like the last 5 years. The only thing that's changed in the last like year and a half is I do even more work and less game in general. So why you're well, I was never with RSD. Like I was never worked for them. I never had any kind of affiliation with them. But honestly, like I'm not a fan of them nowadays is because they took down all of their good content. Now all they have is just stupid fluff, which is just like feel good nonsense, which is like a 30-minute video that you learn nothing from. And that just is just like a bunch of like feel good shit. And ever since they rebranded themselves as self-development, I just think they've become super lame, honestly. Why do you think Hamza is so successful? Successful in what way? Like, I don't know anything about his personal finances or anything. So I don't know if he is successful or not. So yeah, I can't really comment on that. His channel has like something like 300,000 subs, which is pretty good. Definitely more than me, but there's a lot of people in this industry who have more than that. I don't know, honestly. I don't know really why people watch his content, but because it just seems like a lot of just like moralizing and just a lot of like I don't know, just like basic shit that I don't really need to go on YouTube to find out about. But I don't know, honestly. I don't have a good answer. Uh, Courtney and Money Flake, but will you bring another female dating coach on your channel? Attractive ones give good advice, especially. Yeah, yeah, no, I will. I've been trying to get on other dating coaches, but it's just sometimes like I've reached out to like most of the popular YouTubers that you guys want me to have on. It just sometimes they take months to respond and shit like that. But yeah, I will. And I think I'll have Courtney on the channel again at some point. Any plans to debate, have combos with like people that are not really part of the master? Uh, yeah, no, I'm down for that. Yeah, as long as they have a following, so it's interesting. I would be down. If you guys have good ideas, let me know. But I'm open to it. I would love to see an interview with Sterling Cooper. Yeah, I've already done two on this channel, actually. Um, uh, what do you say when a girl says only if you're lucky? It really depends on the context, but only if you're lucky. I might just flip it on her. I might just be like, only if you're lucky. Like if she says in person, me lucky, only if you're lucky. So I might just literally flip the frame on her. If it's over text, I might just troll her, be like, good thing I'm wearing my lucky shoes or whatever, my lucky boxers. I don't know, something like that. My lucky socks. I often use condoms versus raw with new girls. Nowadays, I'm pretty careful. So I mostly use condoms. It's like 95%, 99% condoms. Okay. My now ex girlfriend broke up with me because I don't say I love her back. I don't because I commented on her gaining weight and she was letting herself go. Got really upset. Well, I mean, sounds like she wasn't that great to begin with. You didn't love her. She was gaining weight. She got triggered really easily. So I say move on and find a better girl, honestly. Okay. I have trouble with getting too excited about women I like and coming across needy. How can I subdue my excitement so I don't keep fucking things up? Honestly, just getting more volume and talking to more chicks, and then also just consciously controlling your actions. So you might get this urge, like, oh, I better double text her, and you stop yourself. Hang on, I'm doing it again. Let me stop, take a step back. All right. So just catching yourself every time you do it and stopping yourself. So breaking that habit, but also having more abundance in your life. So you're talking to more girls so that, it's just like easier for you to, I guess, not focus so much on one girl when you're talking to 10 girls. How do you deal with approach anxiety during date game? Really, you just have to ignore it and push past it. Honestly, that's really the only thing you can do is just push past it. Just like, oh, okay, I feel it, acknowledge it, and just push past it. That's really, there's not much you can do besides that. Do you recommend buying Tinder Platinum? Yeah, Tinder Platinum or Tinder Gold. I have Tinder Gold. Honestly, I don't really see much of a difference between those two. In school in the city, is day game and night game even more efficient in high traffic areas? Yeah, of course. Would you live in Dallas? Maybe, possibly. I don't know. I still feel like the winters would be too cold for me, honestly. Do you ever feel like a cuck? I saw an interview with Natty, and it would bother me if my girl wanted to fuck my guy friends. Well, no, you completely misunderstood the interview. She doesn't want to fuck my guy friends. She said that before her and I were dating, she felt physically attracted to one of my friends, just like I'm physically attracted to some of her girlfriends. That doesn't mean I'm trying to fuck her girlfriends, right? She has some attractive friends. Well, I find physically attractive. Like, so what? There's a big difference between finding someone attractive and actually like trying to fuck them, right? Those two are completely different things. Yeah, if she wanted to fuck my guy friends, that relationship would end in a heartbeat, but that's not the case. Okay. In all seriousness, I like your content, bro. My friend couldn't get any girls, but ever since he saw your video, he can't stop dating. He recommended me to you, and I can't. Nice, man. I'm glad to hear. Yeah. Happy to help. Um, I'm from Minnesota. I moved to Austin to escape the cold recently, but makes sense since you were in LA before. Was wondering mainly if you had anything to do with game. No, not particularly. There's one thing that I didn't like about Texas girls in general, and that's they have pretty bad anti-slut defense. So, and they can be massive hypocrites. So they'll be like, one day they'll be like, "Oh, daddy, I can't wait to ride that cock." And the next day they'll be like, "I'm not that kind of girl." Like just that stuff is kind of annoying. But no, that was only part of it. I actually had like two really hot chicks that I was banging when I lived in Austin that I was like really happy with. One of them was like this hot blonde with a big ass. Another one of them was a really big titty Jewish girl who was just like 120 pounds and had these massive tits. So yeah, I was pretty happy, with my sex life there. Have you ever experienced any racism, nationalism from women because you're from Russia originally? No, I never have, honestly. When I was in like middle school and high school, yeah, but not like since being an adult. No, I would just find that so funny if like someone was like, "Oh, you're Russian," I'd be like, "Okay, and what the fuck is your point?" So no. Uh, hey Alex, you should get Austin Donham on the podcast. Yeah, I've been trying to. We've emailed back and forth. He said he might come on in like March. Uh, What specific message do you send for the double, triple, quadruple text if a girl doesn't respond? It really depends on the context. I have a video on this where I explain it in detail, but just really depends on the context. Do you still live with Indian P? And if you do, why? Yeah, I do. He's a good roommate, honestly. He's really solid roommate. Like we don't have any issues. We get along pretty well. It's more fun living with a friend. Yeah, many reasons. I see it as like I don't see any disadvantages to it really. It's just pretty much all pros. Okay. What else do we have? Hey, Alex, do you think NLP language parents work for seducing women? I don't know. I've never tried it. I had Ross Jeffries on for a podcast, and he made a pretty good point for why it can be effective. But me personally, I've never really tried it. So, how to prevent a girl from understanding you're a player? I don't. I don't mind girls understanding that I am a player. It's not. I don't see it as a bad thing. I kind of just like own that. Um, Okay. How do you stay motivated when you find little to no success? Well, I mean, I have success, so I can't really like personally relate to that. But I think that I guess I have to go back to when I first got into game. It's hard, but I guess you just got to like keep pushing yourself and just kind of believe that it will happen. I mean, success usually, confidence usually comes from results. So it's hard to stay motivated and confident when you're not seeing results. But I think even if you're not motivated, you can still develop the right habits. So even if you feel no motivation, you still do the things that you need to do, like go to the gym, get your work done, approach girls. So I think it's more about developing the right habits rather than so much relying on motivation. Uh, if you enjoyed debates discussion, check out Destiny on YouTube. He had chats with Apple and had talked about dating stuff before. Okay, yeah, I'll check him out. Let me also, we're getting a lot of good tips tonight. Let me take a picture of that and I'll reach out to him, or I guess I'll research him first. Okay, cool. Got it. Okay, let's move on. What do you think about of the PUA guys who say you shouldn't sexualize over text? I don't really understand their reasons for thinking that. Have you ever debated anybody on this topic? Uh, yeah, I mean, I think that they should try it and then they should see what happens. I mean, there's pros and cons to sexualizing over text. Like, I'm not going to say it's all pros and no cons, but there's pros and cons. And there's situations when it makes sense to sexualize and situations where you should be a little bit more implicit. Would I debate anybody on that subject? Yeah, sure. I never have, but I would be down to. I mean, I don't think it's good to have like super strict beliefs like, oh, you could never do this. Well, there's some situations where you can do pretty much anything. So I don't know. I don't really like those hardline beliefs. You can never sexualize over text. That's super fucking dumb. Okay. Thoughts on Gigolo Sugar Mama gang? Like, what's the oldest woman you would have banged? Well, I have my own money, so I don't need like sugar mamas. I don't. I just don't like relying on other people. Like, plus I make enough money, so I don't need that, nor do I really want it. But in terms of oldest, I think the oldest I've ever banged was like 52. I don't think I've gone past 52, but yeah, like 51, 52, probably. Would you hook up with a girl if she had herpes or HIV? So those two are very much different things. If she had HIV, that would be a hard no. If she had herpes, as long as she didn't have an active outbreak, yeah, I would. Uh, it's kind of cool that you take guest requests from viewers in chat. And a lot of people do that. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I like to keep things unique. How do you check if a girl's engaged if she looks young? Do you ask her ID or pray she's honest? I just ask her. I'd be like, "You look super young. How old are you?" Like, I'll say in a kidding way, and if I really don't believe her, that's never happened to me. Like, usually, like I believe them. But if something feels off, then yeah, I might ask for ID. I'd be like, let me see some identification, girl." I'll still say in like a joking way to keep it fun, right? So if she is over age, I don't like freak her out. I'll be like, "Let me see some ID," right? You kind of say it in like a joking way. No question. Just want to show some appreciation. Thank you for being real and front about your techniques. It really does work. Helps a lot. Cheers. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it, man. Please debunk blue pill in a detailed way. Your friend's going down the wrong path thanks to it. Well, blue pill, I get so confused with all these fucking pills: blue pill, red pill, black pill, orange pill. Like, there's way too many fucking pills out there. But blue pill, I believe, is just like not knowing about game, right? Is that what it is? I don't really know how I would, that's just like basically, I don't know. I'd have to research what exactly the blue pill is before I could debunk it, I guess. You should try reach out Destiny for an interview. Okay, yeah. So I'll reach out to him. Yeah. Do you offer one-on-one coaching? Yeah, I do. Sometimes I'm not. I'm trying to move away from that, in all honesty. But if you're really interested, just shoot me an email, playingwithfirechannel@gmail.com, and we can set something up. Girls being disrespectful, and I'm just sitting there all cool. How do I put a boundary without coming out as butthurt? It really depends on what she's doing. I would need way more context than that. You'd have to give me a lot more context before I can tell you exactly how to do it, because your reaction has to be appropriate to the situation. What is your take on OnlyFans and legalized prostitution in the United States? I think that, yeah, I think prostitution should be legal. Like, I'm a libertarian. I believe people should be able to free to do whatever the fuck they want if it doesn't hurt other people. I also think that, a lot of drugs should be legalized, right? I just think that keeping things illegal doesn't help anybody. It hurts the women because they have to like rely on pimps and like kind of shady environments. It hurts the consumer because they have to deal with legal elements. There's less regulation, less testing. So I don't see anything good coming from keeping things illegal. I don't know. I mean, it won't change me in any way. I'm not into paying for sex, even if it's legal. I'm not going to do it. But yeah, I think it should be legal. If people want to do that, that's totally cool. What's my take on OnlyFans? I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's a way that a lot of chicks are making money, but the only reason they're able to make money is because there's so many dudes who are simping for them. If all the guys just stop simping, then chicks won't be able to, do what they do on OnlyFans. But, dudes are going to keep simping. So, I don't really blame the chicks for capitalizing on opportunity as long as they're honest about it. Tomorrow I meet with my ex to get my. She said no touching. Obviously that ain't gonna work. But what are some moves you would do for that? I really don't know on your context and your situation. I mean, I don't know. Just probably just chill and vibe with her, have a drink, and see, if she's still into it or not. Probably. Do you have favorite frame battle with a guest you've had? The hot chicks on the couch. I don't know. I've had a few. I don't know. The porn star one was interesting. The Rochelle Ryan chick who accused me of being thirsty. There's been a bunch. I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite one. There's just been a bunch of interesting ones. Um, Thoughts on dating single mothers? Well, there's a big difference between hooking up with and dating. I don't know. Dating might be a little tough. It just depends how many kids they have. Do the kids live with them full time? Do they live with the dad? Is it half and half? How dedicated she is to you. But I don't believe in this whole thing they say in the Red Pill community, avoid single mothers at all costs. No, I think you have to look at it with a little bit more nuance than that. And it depends on the girl. Okay. Creative responses when she asks if you're a serial killer I use only at Halloween parties. I usually say, don't worry, I gave up serial killing for Lent last year, or I gave up X murdering for Lent last year. That one works really well for me. That's funny that you ask this question because I literally have a video coming out on this tomorrow. So yes, I have a video that I'm releasing tomorrow. I don't want to ruin it. Let's just stay tuned for tomorrow. But yeah, I'm literally dropping that video tomorrow. Um, okay. Are those guys on YouTube that help you get Tinder Gold Platinum for free legit, or do you get banned eventually? Never heard of one, but I cannot imagine they're legit. I would not like. I just don't think Tinder would let people do that for an extended period of time. So I cannot imagine them being legit, but I've never tried, so I can't say for sure. How do I deal with jealousy? My friend is a male mom killing it. I celebrate him and love the dude, but I still feel so frustrated watching him while I struggle. Yeah, I can imagine that. I think you just got to really just do everything you can that's within your control to increase your own results, honestly. But it's not fair to compare yourself to someone who's a male model, right? That would be like me comparing my YouTube success to Logan Paul. Like, fuck, Logan Paul dropped a video, got way more views than me. It's just like we're in different points, so I can't you can't compare to people who have like a big advantage over you. And if he's a male model, it sounds like he does. So yeah, you just kind of got to keep that in mind. Okay, let's see what else we got. Alex, should I date a girl who has a controlling mom because she tells me that she doesn't want me to, or her daughter talking about having a relationship? Which she doesn't want me or her daughter talking about. I don't know. Depends how much you like the girl. I honestly I have a pretty good track record with moms. Like all the moms love me. Daddy's mom loves me too. I remember she was really worried about me meeting her mom. I was like, trust me, all the moms love me because moms are easy. I just run game on them and I just like give them a lot of compliments. I'm like, oh, I'm just like overly flirty with the moms and they always just get such a kick out of it. So yeah, I don't know. I've always had a good time with that. I just kind of flirt with the moms a little bit, like low key, and just give them compliments, and they usually love me. But I wouldn't let it, like I don't really care what the girl's mom thinks. So if you want to, yeah, do it. It's up to you. Do you think what's happening in Russia hurts a girl's perception of you as a Russian, kind of like how Muslims had their? No, I don't think so. First of all, you can't even really tell I'm a Russian unless I tell you, because like I don't really have an accent. Plus, I don't really even look that Russian. Or somewhat I do, but somewhat I don't. Secondly, I'm from Belarus technically, so I can always play that card. But third, no, like, and if a girl does that, I would be like, do you realize that I'm not friends with Putin? I have no control over what this guy does. Like, you do realize there's millions of people from Russia, and we have no control over the government, right? And you can just like reframe it to make her seem like a retard for discriminating against you because of that. So, yeah, to me, that's not even a concern. Okay. What are your favorite opening lines at clubs right now? Do they evolve? I really, really don't go to clubs, so I haven't been to a club in a very long time. Do you have female clients? You should go collab with Jared Freddy and go on UUP podcast. I've had a few female clients, not many, but a few. And Jared Freddy, I've never heard of him, but let me take a picture and I'll add it to my to-do list. A lot of good ideas coming today. Okay. Will you ask Coach Whitepill to come on the podcast again to clear up the whole drama? And were you disappointed he was not legit? If you guys really want to see that, I could, but I don't really have that much interest in doing that. Was I disappointed? I don't know. I just really don't care. Like, he's a nice guy and we're friendly, but we're not like good friends or anything. Texas girls do have high anti self defense speaking. Yeah, for sure, man. Blonde Jew with no. So those are two different girls. There was a big booty blonde, and there was a Jewish girl with massive tits. So there were two separate people. Uh, Okay. What do you eat day to day? I saw an interview you only eat twice per day. Yeah, I follow the paleo diet. So, like for example, today I had like chicken breast, broccoli, almond milk, and some like almond butter. So for dinner, I'll probably eat a little bit of steak with like some veggies and sweet potatoes. Okay, man, I'm sorry if this is a weird question, but I had a girl in my place and we were drinking wine, but I was just so fucking scared to make a move. Do you have any suggestions how to overcome the anxiety? You just gotta force yourself to do it. Honestly, there's like no magic trick for this. You just gotta like push through it, and the more you push through it, the easier it becomes. So just keep doing it. It's just gonna get easier and easier over time. Okay, what else do we have? Can you can I send my photos to you so I can give you honest opinion? You can just post them in the forums, forums.playingfire.com, and tag me in it, and yeah, we'll take a look. Okay. Could you give an example of you conversations logic versus emotion? Uh, you have to clarify, like, what exactly do you mean? How's the hair thing going? I don't know. You guys tell me. I think I made some gains, right? I think it's looking a little better, but I'm not. I'm still supposed to. I've done 3 rounds of exosomes injections. I'm still supposed to give it a few more months for the results to really show. I might do a few more rounds. If that doesn't go the way I wanted to in a few months, I might just get a hair transplant. But yeah, I don't know. I think I made some progress. I'm planning on making a video on this, by the way. I'm going to show my before and after photos. That's just going to be further down the line. Okay. What's up, bruh? What's the best strategy to convince a girl who's into you for three-way with your main chick? I would just literally ask that girl, hey, are you into girls at all? She'd be like, if she says no, then there's nothing you can do. If she says, yeah, it's the right girl. Be like, oh, cool. Well, I know someone who thinks you're cute. She'd be like, oh, who? You just make her curious. Be like, oh, this girl, she thinks you're cute. And then, if both girls like each other, then you just set it up, honestly. But I'll kind of approach it from that perspective. Do you notice girls more attractive after started taking TRT, or is there no difference? Honestly, I don't think there's a difference in terms of my success with chicks. I don't think that's changed, honestly. Uh, Playing with fire, when you do cold approach, how do you do it, and how do you ideally end the combo? Yeah, so I have many infields on this channel, so just check that out. I've shown infield over and over again, so just check that out, honestly. Ooh, fave and least favorite Song of Ice and Fire character. Oh man, if you guys are not familiar, I'm a massive Game of Thrones nerd. My favorite characters are probably Tyrion, Tywin. I like a lot. I like Tyrion, Tywin. I like Daenerys. I like my least favorite. Who bores me? Like Ned Stark kind of bored me. I like Peter Baelish a lot. Ned Stark kind of bored me. Who else bored me? The like brand kind of bores me a little bit. Jon Snow, I'm kind of neutral about. I kind of like him. Stannis, I find somewhat interesting. The Greyjoys, kind of hit or miss. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan though. Which country is best for girls who actually want to be equals and pay for half the dates? Scandinavian countries for sure, or just like Western Europe, but Scandinavian countries definitely. What percent of women do you find attractive? Maybe like 20%. Like, would you bang a six like Selena Powell? I would probably bang Selena Powell, yeah, if I'm being honest. Okay. I've been told by girls that I'm an 8 out of 10, but in online dating, I only get one match per month on Tinder. I'm not using Tinder Plus Gold Platinum. So is that the reason? No, I doubt that's the reason. I think the reason is that your photos are not that good. They can post in the forums and tag me in, and I'll take a look. Okay. Do HIV is the less transmissible if the girl takes her meds right? Well, yeah, I know, but I still wouldn't be able to fuck a girl that has HIV because HIV is essentially a death sentence. So I would never want to risk getting it. How can you test a girl for HIV without her knowing? Well, there's no way to do without her knowing. You can just be like, hey, I feel more comfortable. Hey, why don't we both get STD tests? And we can, just for our safety. So I'll probably suggest it like that. How do you pass the I got a boyfriend shit test? Yeah, but most of the time it's not a shit test. Like most of the time, the girl actually has a boyfriend or she's not interested in you. So either way, it's rarely a shit test. But if it is a shit test, like if she has a smirk on her face or something like that, she's like, "Oh, but I got a boyfriend." Be like, "That's okay. We don't have to tell him." Something like that. Do you think Myron is just very insecure? It fits his behavior. Yes, I think he's extremely insecure. I also think he's extremely petty. How do you find the PWF intro? Honestly, my tech person found it, so I wasn't the one. Do you believe in meditation, inner game? Yes, and yes, I do think meditation is great. So yeah, I don't personally do, but yeah, I'm a fan. Myron's talking about paying for box again. Big surprise. Alex, what's your take on friends with benefits? Yeah, I'm a fan. Alex, do you judge women for lying about their sexual past? Let's say they claim to be XYZ in order for you to cuff them later on. You see she wasn't. Yeah, I don't like lying in general. So yeah, I probably wouldn't be a fan of that. Do you talk? Yeah, so I already explained that. So check that out. That's earlier in the video. Okay, let's take a few more questions. It will be kind of unethical to date Ukrainian refugee women coming from war zone, or shouldn't I care? I don't see it as unethical. Like, why is it unethical? As long as you're not tricking them into it. No, I think it's fine. Ukrainian woman you love too. Uh, me and Indian P the other day were joking around about like because like we get asked like like crazy questions in the forum sometimes. So we are talking about how funny it would be if there's like people in the Ukraine who are like asking us about question like, "Yo, man, how do I get over the my city's being bombed objection?" Or like, I mean, the whole thing is really sad. I'm not trying to like make light of it, but there's some humor to be found. Or like the oh shit, I'm texting this chick and she gave me the I lost my leg in a bombing objection. How do I overcome that? So we were just like laughing about that last night. Uh, I can only get 3 out of 10 or lower women, even an average girl is possible for me. Yeah, that shouldn't be the case. I would need to know a lot more about you and what you're doing, but you shouldn't have to hook up with 3 out of 10 chicks. Any recommendation proving your sex foreplay skills? Yeah, check out Sex God Method. That's pretty good. Thoughts on Bumble Premium? Yeah, I think it's worth it. How long do you wait to text after sex? Like an hour? I don't know. Wait, good. Alex, have you ever fucked up and tried getting back with your ex? Yeah, me and my first girlfriend, we got back together and separated a whole bunch of times. I kept doing it with her, but ultimately it ended. So yes, but it's not something that I currently would do. Okay, let's just take like one or two more questions. Why do women tell me I'm a nice guy at my business, even though I keep it professional when talking to them? And also, I'm not interested in them since I've been single and red pilled for over 20 years. That I do not know. Maybe they're just trying to give you a compliment. Maybe you are coming off a little bit of a nice guy. I really don't know, man. I would need to watch you interact and see what you're doing to in order to honestly answer that question. I don't know if this is a troll question. Uh, I'm 31, never had a woman. Is it over? No, I don't think it's over. It's never over, but you should probably get on that, learn game and whatnot. Have you ever banged a fresh and fit girl? That would be best revenge playing with fire. I don't think I have, but Indian P has banged at least one that I know of. So it's happened. Wait, did I bang one? I'd have to go back and think about it. Uh, I can't recall one that I banged, but I know Indian P has. Uh, when are you releasing your dating app that rates photos? Yeah, so that's like half a year to a year away. We're still working on the AI for that. So, yeah, it's coming, but it's going to be further down the line. Okay, let's just take one or two more questions. Natty asked, if we broke up and I want you back, you'd say no. Well, for you, babes, I would make an exception, of course. Okay. This girl is into me. She was all up on me. We were texting. She told me to confess my love in person. Need a little help closing it out. Any things to say? Inviting her to the mall Friday. Help. Okay. She told me to confess my love in person. Well, why are you confessing your love? Like you just met her, it sounds like. So I don't know why you would confess your love. I would just probably play it cool. But generally speaking, I would just invite her over for a bottle of wine and then escalate. Uh, all right, what else do we have? Okay, how effective is day game? Do you know your success rate? It's a tough question to answer because yeah, day game definitely works. What's my success rate? I don't know. Maybe like 1 out of 4 chicks that I open, I get their number. Out of those 1 out of 3, I get out on a date, and out of the chicks I get out on a date, maybe like 60% I bang or something like that. Yeah, I know she's the best. I do truly appreciate Natty. Do you miss Face and LMS? He's been gone for a while on YouTube. Honestly, I didn't even know about it. No, not really. I'll be honest. We were never like friends or anything. I mean, I don't dislike him, but no. Someone asked, which sex doll did you order after talking to TFM? Well, actually, I slid into the DMs of his sex doll and I sent him a dick pic. So we'll see how that works out. What's the best way to pass the shit test? You got to buy me a drink first. I would just be like, do I? And then just hold the tension. Like, do I? And then just like get her to explain why, and be like, I don't know, maybe you should buy me a drink for that little attitude you got there. I would just flip it on her. Uh, what kind of sales do you do before pickup? I did solar sales, so I used to work in the solar industry. Yeah, I agree. It's quite sad that guy was in love and relationship with an AI doll and he has feelings for it. Wow. Yeah, that was fucking crazy. I was just like, yeah, my mind was blown by that. Okay, cool. So yeah, we just ran through a whole bunch of questions. This is a fun little spontaneous live Q&A. All right, guys. So tomorrow, hopefully, I can set up that debate with Allende and that chick. I'm gonna let you guys know as soon as I confirm from her about it. We'll see what happens next. But yeah, so we got some more awesome content dropping tomorrow. I'm gonna drop that video on false accusations. So we'll see. We got a lot of good stuff, so make sure you guys surprise. Okay, I'll answer a few more questions. Props to Natty. Respect to the ride or die type. Yeah, she's great. Would you hit a woman? No, I would not hit a woman. Question: if I confess to a crime, would you report me? Depends what the crime was. I'd probably just give you a purple nurple. No, I would not report you. I really like your channel. Kind of fits the void from Good Looking Loser. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Actually, I'm a fan of Good Looking Loser, so I would love to get him on the podcast, but he's been like complete MIA. So hopefully one day I can get him on. How's the 52-year-old? A little, not the best, I will say. All right, we'll answer one last question. How do you manage volume, prioritizing volume of quality, responsive, and compromise answering every lead? What would you advise someone who can't answer as fast as a coach? I just prioritize all the leads that I think are going to be more likely and just screen very aggressively, honestly. So yeah, that's my take on that. All right, guys. Natty's just trolling us now. Even if I was doing clandestine dogfights, as long as it doesn't involve Rhaegar. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for joining. Another fun live stream. Always good connecting with you guys. Until next time.